Hey guys, and as you can already see from the title of this video, we're just gonna be talking. And talking about what? About my creatorship, craftsmanship, if you may put it so. In the beginning of this year, I've set a pretty big goals on what I wanna achieve. And actually, let's see. Because this video, I just decided to do it a bit randomly, without thorough preparation. Today's 30th of December, by the way. To everyone watching probably in the new year, hi. Hi back from 2025. Oh my god. That food is still chasing me. Oh god, okay, wait. March 12th was when I published the video with this amazing thumbnail, and it all started back then. So we call it almost 10 months. Let's call it a year. It will be easier for me. So the review for the first novel cycle is there. I've noted it down here. I will type in review so I can remember what the hell was it. So novel cycle 1 review is already on the channel. I guess I'll put a link in the top right corner and you can go ahead and watch it. I'm not gonna be going over that. I'm just gonna tell the marks. Daisy 9, Smile 10, Ellie 5, Snowflake 8, Frost 6, and Epilogue 9. I don't remember if I calculated the average point. I don't know if it matters even, because it's kind of pointless. But I did it anyways, so it's 7.83, and I don't know if I'll be doing that further on, but well, you just know it is there. And let's go ahead chronologically this time and start with A Tale of Day and Night. Let's go ahead. Wait, how do we can sharpen it actually? TDN. TDN chapters, because I'm gonna rate every chapter separately. #1, or how do I, yeah, I guess I'm gonna be #2, #3, #4. Let's actually go one by one. I'm not gonna write them down right now. Well, first few words about the book itself. I consider it the worst of my 3 books at this point, because I was a bit of a graphomaniac and I was trying to build sentences very fancy way, and chronologically it's first book, but it was my second book I wrote, and it was full new piece of info, and I was like, I might as well show off, but I guess it came for the... Yes, it's just an overkill. It is fine to be itself. Maybe some people enjoy that, but it was not enjoyable. And 38 pages. I'm viewing Google Docs document. They're all publicly available, so you can also check. Go ahead and check them out. 6 chapters, interlude, and epilogue. Well, let's start from the chapter 1, shall we? How do I zoom in? Oh, I can zoom in like that, maybe. Oh, I can. Nice. Well, chapter 1. I would say it's a nice intro. It's a bit spontaneous. Again, chronologically, it should be the first ever thing you're exposed to, and it's this. You kind of don't know where you're dropping into, and you're already exposing to some battles, some valleys, some castles, something's going on. It might be confusing. A side note for now, two people read all my creative stuff. Only two. One person is still finishing up, but no pressure for him. If you're watching this video, hopefully you already finished by that time. So shout out to Bogdan and Agnes, my most loyal readers. So chapter 1. Rimus, all the stuff, volunteer, crimson tent, he's everything, Martha. We get cliche dialogues pouring in. Again, I am not the biggest fan of this book, I need to say. Because you know what? I think after chapter 3, I already got bored. Like, I didn't want to produce more. But I forced myself and I produced 3 more chapters and then interlude and epilogue. So, less than a half through, I was already done with this book. So, I forced myself, and that's what happens when you force yourself. Something bad happens. So, well, at least I learned my lesson. So, I'm gonna be judging from my own as author's point of view, how I view, like how I will rate, how I would rate it. Um, Words are hard, but let's say we don't care about how much of a graphomaniac I was. So let's say that chapter 1 I would rate 7 or 8. Let me think a bit. I'll put it 7 for now. Because it's like, it has some vibe. I like it myself. It has some vibe. It has some characters, something going on. I like the pre-Christmas setting and how we find out that in Magical World they celebrate Christmas. Well, on Darton specifically. Well, we don't know about other dimensions. But on Darton they do, and it's like pre-Christmas, windy, stormy. It's kind of what's right now outside of my window. So I might put it 8, being influenced by all that stuff, but I'm not sure yet. So let it be 7. Chapter 2, the dining hall of White Rock. Amazing. We learn about how did I call her, Sarah or Xera? I don't even remember. You see, like this book. I mean, it is still produced, but still. Yeah, that I don't have the best memories, and it's, I guess, fine. As an author, I acknowledge it. We get to know Sasha, character that matters so much in the modern, let's say, history of my writing. Remus and all that stuff. Yes, so chapter 2. Well, it is pretty interesting, I think, as a standalone piece, because we can actually see here how Sasha interacts when she doesn't have something weird going on with her life, when she is actually all right doing mentally. And I think standalone, this chapter could be very nice for that. It can provide that thing, that feeling, and this feeling of family that I think it's unique in a way, because Sasha never gets family story time. Well, up to this point that I'm recording this video, the point that this universe has developed, my universe. So I would wanna even put it maybe 8. It is 7, but maybe I would put 8 for this exclusivity. And I guess I will do it. Yeah, we'll put 8 for chapter 2. It is pretty great. Chapter 3. Well, it is insanely vast and big and fights and everything. As a standalone piece, it is I think it is amazing. The battle with Martha, everything, like how it goes, it's almost as if I would put 10 for it. Like, as a read piece, as the grand presentation of all the events that is going on, I would say it's a 10, because it is just, for me, it is just like interesting to read. Even my friend, who's not, that's one of two people that read my stuff, he said he's not like the most fluent in English, let's say, but he still even enjoyed. He was like, yeah, that's like top 5 anime battles. So that is something to be aware of. Chapter 4. Well, Martha, that is the worst piece I've ever produced, I think, in my writing history. It is so bad, I don't even wanna think. So basically, yeah, I know. It just doesn't make sense, guys. I admit it. It was already, like, when I finished writing, I guess she's Zara. I think I pronounce her as Zara, not Xera. When Zara and Martha finished fighting in chapter 3, by the way, guys, spoilers. If you didn't read that, that's like an insane amount of spoilers for you. But anyways, 11th minute, but I'm warning you. Um, and then for what? Like this orb, and then for what? Like, okay, I know it just doesn't make sense. Then they do this peace deal, which is absolutely bonkers. Um, then Alinis, wait, where is Alinis? Yeah, Alinis comes and, well, it just doesn't make sense. I can say that it just doesn't make any sense at all. It's just absolute. I think I would put it 1. I'm gonna be like very like honest to myself. That's like 1. The build up, the battle, everything, and then it like just some shitty piss deal. Nah, that's like absolutely bonkers. Chapter 5, that's gotta be very high because, well, I love Almiron, because Almiron was the point from where all my creative universe started. So Almiron gotta get a heads up here. Description how Martha is, well, I don't know if you noticed, but here I try to represent a bit, but again, if I write something, it always is as a standalone piece. Uh, I cannot replicate it. But what I was trying to do in chapter 5 in the beginning, I was trying to replicate the Smile novel's tone and layer it on Martha's experience. I don't think I really managed that. It came out just like as some different piece of writing, but surely not what I wanted to do. Well, then we get the we get Vera, I'm sorry, like the top 5 plot twists in human history. Yes, Martha, Vera, where is the tavern? The Wise Eagle. Uh, I even forgot, oh my god. But in the key, I renamed it was the Wise Falcon, so it's like a spin off of the same place, because on Almiron in book 3 we are in different location. I should have actually prepared more, because now it sounds like I don't even know what's going on in what I've written. So the tavern, we get the fight. Was let it be. I'm not gonna. Yeah, no, actually, I'm gonna correct this mistake. Actually, I'm not gonna. I will forget to correct it. I have like the all my universe in so many different places. If I correct it here, it's gonna be left somewhere else. So no, I'm gonna correct it. Whatever. Martha fight, plot twist. Martha Lewis. Martha's kicked out. The dialogues here are so bad. They're just so bad. This book is just like, it's. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry you had to read it. I'm sure most of you didn't read it, so I'm sorry for those who did. Chapter 5, I would put it an 8 because it is good. It gives you an description of Almiron for the first time, and I think it's important to get introduced to a new world among the 6 worlds, 6 dimensions of my universe, and it's not a 9. Okay, 10 is like perfection. It's not perfection. 9 would be like something close to it, but I feel like dialogue with Vera and the whole setup is still kind of weird and not really justified, but as again, I like the introduction of Almiron, how I did it. I'm gonna put it an 8. Let's move to chapter 6. I would put it very high. I think I would give it 9 straight away because, first of all, we get absolute insane plot twist that is gonna help us later. Here is also spoiler because, as I say, this book I wrote after second book that goes chronologically, which is called The Box. For me to write the key, I needed to nerf Martha's power somehow. And basically, the whole first book, A Tale of Day and Night, exists only for this moment to nerf Martha's power, because then the fight scene, well, if we treat it like that, Volunteer is the absolute bad boy, big daddy of the vampire dimension. So that's one of 6 worlds. He's the overlord, the ruler of one of the worlds. So we can say, very much simplifying, he's one out of 6 most powerful people in the whole universe, which makes him pretty damn strong. And Martha is his daughter. So she is like the daughter of one of the guys, like the guys. She's daughter of one of the guys. And she must be hell of a powerful. Now, not to offend my dear Remus, but he's just a count. Yes, he's technically the most powerful count, but still, there goes the Archmage, the king, royal family, then go the counts, and Sasha is count's daughter, so she is kind of way lower than Martha. And in Key, well, we have what we have. Sasha kicks Martha's ass pretty damn bad. And when I finished writing my first book, which is chronologically second book, The Box, I was like, okay, the key is not gonna happen because we need to nerf Martha. She's way too OP, and it just doesn't make sense, at least for me, even for reader, maybe for sure, that Sasha can just kick Martha's ass because she just clearly is not as powerful. So the whole 5 chapters before were kind of made to make you more familiar with some pre-story. But main point of first book, chronologically first book, A Tale of Day and Night. I'm going to be actually referring the names. Why am I even saying that? It's so confusing. Main point of Tale of Day and Night is just to nerf Martha. So she's 50% nerfed, and that 50% goes to Sasha. So she is actually on her level, and spoiler alert, she's even a bit stronger than Martha. Maybe not a bit, but you will see that in fourth book. So it is cool. We get Martha's power taken, everything shattered. We see vampire overlords. We see everything. We see battle of Volunteer and Remus. Well, slight one. So that's gonna be a 9. That's gonna be a 9. I cannot put it 10, but it is gonna be a 9. It's pretty interesting. We get also a King of Almiron. So again, one of the most guys, because he's the ruler of the Almiron dimension, so hence he must be one of the guys. Why didn't he do anything when, you might say, when a volunteer came to his castle with other vampire overlords? Just a coward. Maybe he will appear later, who knows. Interlude. I'm not gonna give it a rating, I guess it just doesn't make sense. Epilogue. I will call it a 7th chapter. It's gotta be a 10. I love epilogue. We get introduction of Darkwood. Darkwood is my baby. I didn't give much of a description before, but that Martha is like sad and how it's all going, and epilogue gotta be like the absolute cinema. Let's calculate. So 7, 8, 10, 1, 8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 10, 1, 8, 9, 10. 7.57 if we are still doing the average. Okay, novel cycle 2, we are moving on. I guess I said everything about like book number 1. It was more of a joke. I just needed to nerf Martha. I didn't have passion to write it. It was horrible what I did with it and with maybe chapters. I think maybe after chapter 5 you can, like, chapter 4 absolute garbage. Chapter 5 maybe you could like restore some faith in it. Chapter 6 getting better, and then maybe by epilogue your perception as a readers would be a bit improved. But yes, I get this is very bad. Wait, how come the book came out so good? Oh, because the individual chapters are still good, but this one for chapter 4, that's one thing that I guess it doesn't make sense to. Okay, we're gonna do still averages because, well, I already started doing it. Let's move on. Let's move on to the novels and the second novel cycle, Above the Sky. But actually, let's first maybe look at My Dear Uncle John. MDUJ. I will write it because, well, why would I write the whole naming? Well, it was written more for fun as a request. It has chapters. Wait, how many words does? Wait, it's pretty big. What the hell? But they're small though. Chapter 4. Yeah, they're very small. Well, without further ado, I will put it a 9 because, first of all, it's cool. It's a side story. It doesn't make much sense, but we get to see Sasha in real world, and we plus have book 3 to cover, which will take a lot of time, and I'm already looking at the time, like 23 minutes. So it's just fun. It was just fun experience. I enjoyed it a lot. It was great, actually. Above the Sky, The Star Chaser. I think I'll put it an 8. It has the thought behind it. It surely does feel maybe familiar or relatable, and it's just nice, cute story. I have nothing else to say. It's just nice. Fun fact, it was first ever novel I wrote in English language. Saturday, I would put 10. the way that there's more to it than I can tell you, but the way it's written, great writing. The description of a day, internal fight, the like climax, the resolution. I think it's great. It educates. It's about real life and it educates. And you, well, this gotta be the highest rated piece ever because, well, first of all, Martha. We see Martha exposed. We see Martha on Earth. We see Martha peeking on Max. We see Max introduced before the actual book that was literally about to come next. We see again like everything, introduction to human world and everything. We kind of get some flashbacks from the first novel cycle where Martha was the main antagonist, if we can call her like that. I guess we can. And then Max, his routine, and chapter 4 on chapter 4 of novel You is arguably one of my favorite pieces of writing. It's absolute cinema. And then epilogue is the continuation of Saturday novel linked to the Star Chaser, and we find out that was the same girl all the way, and she has fixed her life, and we see that Martha actually talks to humans and has some connection. So I think that's like an absolute cinema. I was writing novel You after I finished A Tale of Day and Night, and when I was writing You, it was like beginning of August, I think. I don't remember. Let's check. We have some time. I have work tomorrow, but I have some time for now. Ooh, 18th of July. When I was writing it, I was thinking I'm never gonna come back to my creative universe for a year at least because I'm so done with it. But as we see, I managed to produce more stuff. So it's just absolute cinema. I love reading it. I reread it a bunch of times. It's just such a great piece of writing. It just makes me come back. It even, I would dare to say, because like first novel cycle, I wrote it a bunch of way ago and you can feel it in some ways, but it kind of feels like that. It feels like something old, familiar, nice, nostalgic. At least for me. So in total, what we get? We get 8, 10, and 10, and it's 9.33. The second novel cycle, which is, well, there's not much for me to say. Okay, let's go. The box. Chapter 1. Let's break it. By the way, I'm not gonna be reviewing poems. We can maybe review them some other time, but I'm more focusing on prose because that has been my main focus this year. The box. By the way, spoiler, just don't tell anyone, it's exclusive info. In my folder with my stuff, like internal folder, not shared to you, there's already second document in my books folder. I already started writing fourth book. So, something to know for you. The box. Let's go. Chapter 1. I think it's 10. First of all, it is amazing in terms of intro, of the character. Even if you hadn't read novel you still would get a great intro, real life, human, some struggles, description. We get to feel the character. I think it's it's absolute cinema. Chapter 2, I would say it's it's so short. Wow, compared to my third book chapters. um I would put it a 6. I'm gonna be harsh here because there's not much happening, just some man, and it's not really interesting. At least, well, that's how I did it, yeah, but I don't like it myself how I did it. It's not the best way I could have done it. Chapter 3, it's either 6 or 7, and yes, I'm not even gonna comment on what I just said. So, don't, without any meme prejudices here, it's either 6 or 7 because it's still kind of wibbly wobbly in terms of understanding, but you get a dialogue of some two people discussing some stuff, and I really like the dialogue of Chorus Concern, and I invented their names, and I think they're pretty cool people. I think I should give them some more screen time in the future. But if I will be real, another popular culture reference, 6. It's gonna be a 6 again. Chapter 4 is gonna actually go even lower. It's gonna go to 5 because it's, yes, it's like something is going on, but well, I just describe a freaking mossy wall for like 3 paragraphs, and it doesn't really make a sense. That's how my friend told me he felt about it, and I kind of agree with him. Chapter 5, it's gotta be a 10. We get Martha introduction, we get vampire attack, we get did I say Martha? Sasha introduction. Or maybe I said we get them talking, we get them discussing, we get a bunch of secondary characters that Martha, oh my god, I'm already tripping, sorry. It's 9 in the evening. I'm allowed to. Vera, Zyle, and Quick. Well, Vera gets her share. We get to see that Vera is still alive from the Tale of Day and Night, but well, we get also to see that literally when the department agents like go to the Nexus, she just abandons them. She just abandons her best friends to take Max with her to White Rock. And then, of course, intro of White Rock and Sasha's room. I think it's just absolute cinema. I said that many times already during this review, but it is absolute cinema. Sasha's room is absolute cinema. One of my favorite descriptions so far. And without further ado, let's proceed. 10, 6, 6, 5, 10. 7.4. Lowest for now. And let's go to the key, because there's a lot things we gotta describe there. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna change in the first book. Epilogue. Okay, let's go. Prologue. Let's open the key. That's gonna be fun. It will be funny because I remember I specifically checked my first novel cycle review video. It took 1 hour, and this is 34 minutes so far, and I've reviewed way more. I guess I can be concise if I want to. Prologue. I think it's 9 or even 10. I love it. My friend told it's very cliche that the way that she got just bullied when she was a kid, but we get actually to see that she was spending her childhood on Earth. We don't know for how long. We, as a reader, I know. Not really, but let's pretend. Let's pretend I am very acknowledged author, and I am so nerdy about my universe. I know everything. Not like I just come once in a few months, write something that makes a bit of sense, and I'm like, yay, I love it. No, no, it's definitely not like that. I would put it 9 or 10. It's great. It introduces Sasha's past. Um, I will put it 10. I love it absolutely. It's so great. It just it gives me great feel when I read it. I mean, not that I enjoy Sasha being bullied, but it just gives me a good feel. And I also put my fair share into writing it. So, chapter 1. Well, let's say it this way. My friend told first three chapters are interesting, but it's actually my most hated part of the key. It's just max tweaking on Earth. So I'm just gonna proceed and put both chapter 1 and 2 A6 because I just don't like that. It was needed to like restructure some stuff because originally the key also existed, but it was in a bit different shape, so I had to restructure some stuff, but I don't like it. Well, chapter 3 gets us better. We get interaction with sorry, we get interaction with Sasha. A bit weird. She just wants to kill him. For me, still not that much explanation, but she shows her past and again how she got bullied. So I'm gonna proceed and put it in an 8 because I think it deserves an 8. It is pretty interesting. Chapter 4. Well, Max is falling, target fort, all the stuff, all the drill, Remus coming, Alinius, all the stuff. Kinda fancy schmancy stuff, but I would put it A7. For me, it feels less fun than chapter 4. If we can say like that, I guess we can. Let's go to chapter 5. Wet asphalt. Well, it's a horrible chapter. I think. I mean the button. It's just a nice way to move the plot somehow, and I couldn't have come up with anything better. So it's gonna get a 5 slapped on top of it right away. Chapter 6. It's 10. It's absolute. I would even put it 11 if I could. I will actually go and put it 11, let it be the only exception. And why so? Chapter 6 is what it all like started initially. Like my whole creative universe. When I was like 12, I just sat down and in my notes app on iPad, I just scribbled like, "Oh, I just fell out in some weird medieval town and there's a vampire with me." So I know that in chapter 5 it is happening, but chapter 5 is partially. Oh, wait. Yeah, chapter 5 is partially in human world, so I'm not gonna touch it. Let's move on to chapter 6. Where is the tower name? Where is it? Where is it? Oh my god. Where is the wise falcon? Yeah, the wise falcon, and in Tale of Day and Night it was wise eagle. Just a nice reference from my side. So chapter 6 is 11, just because it's everything that started, and wise falcon was also what I scribbled when I was 12. I think it was 2015, or yeah, maybe it was 2015 or 14. That is chapter 6. Chapter 7, again, interesting. Not as gripping for me, but it's gotta still be a 9 because I just love it. What's the interaction with Louis in 7th or in 8th? Yes, well, we She says Louis in chapter 7 end, but we get Louis in chapter 8. It's still a bit like... Actually, chapter 8 is kind of a mismatch for me. It was unnecessary. I could merge 8 and 9 in with together, but I just wanted specifically 13 chapters, so I went for that split. Chapter 8 I'm gonna put 7, and chapter 9 I'm gonna put 8, because it's still interesting interaction. He calls her by her full name, Martha Felicia. I just made up it, but it just sounds like it could be Martha's full name if she had one. Well, she does, but let's say she was a real person. That could be her real fancy name. Well, kiss. Oh, we get Martha kissing someone in the book. I mean, how can that not deserve at least an 8? Chapter 10. Well, Max, our savior. I'm gonna put it a 9 because it is interesting. It gives us Martha in Max's apartment. Like, officially. Yes, she was spying him from afar in You novel, but it's, you know, it's still not the same thing. Well, we just get funny, nice interactions in here. Let's go to chapter 11. Well, he wakes up, he needs to make a decision. I would put it an 8 by how it feels. It is still an important chapter because he decides he's okay, I'm gonna go to Darkwood, but it's not like, well, you know, it's like the most important chapter, but it still has a pretty big value of importance. Well, chapter 12 smashes Sasha's device, decides to stay again, not like reconfirmation, and we get him in Darkwood. I guess that's also a very fun thing to read, to know, so it gets a 9. Chapter 13, I'm a bit more rushing because, well, kind of in a way, I'm not so nostalgic because I just finished writing The Key, but just I want to give brief comments at this point. I love The Key, spoiler, the most, so I don't want to spoil too much what's going on there. So you gotta go and read it yourself. Unlike The Tale of Day and Night. You don't even technically need it that much for the lore. You can read it if you want additional lore. Chapter 13, it's a 10. I mean, it's a fight. It's a long-awaited fight. Martha versus Sasha. Direct fight. Then Martha getting angry over Sasha knocking out Max. And oh my god, the volunteer dies. How could that happen? Actually, it wasn't originally. I was finishing the 3rd book and I was like, someone needs to die. Some of the characters I love, I need to like kill them, because then so no one could say like, ooh, like classic like piece of writing where everyone is immortal. No, Volunteer got to die. I love Volunteer as a character. I think among like fathers, I love Volunteer more than Remus, but gotta work with Remus right now. Well, chapter 13, I would say it's great. It's not as cool fighting as Zara and Martha, but it still has some spark to it. And epilogue, well, it gotta be a 10 because it's an epilogue. It's the end of the story that I thought initially and originally it was the end of the whole story. But now I'm gonna write book 4 and it's gonna be already new story. But original story that I had crafted over the long years, scribbling something a bit, this was the end of the story, so it definitely deserves. Okay, 6, 6, 8, 7, 5, 11, 9, 7, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9, 10, 10. 8.07. That is pretty am high, but it deserves it. So, what do I want to say? Thank you for staying with me. Hopefully, I'm gonna keep writing more next year. 4th book coming, maybe new novel cycle, who knows, but I fulfilled all my goals I set internally for myself for this year, and it is great to know it, and it was very fun to be a part of all this, and hopefully some of you were also a part of this creative universe of mine. Comment, give feedback, I don't know, reach out to me somehow. I am eager to listen to everything, every single comment. But if you're gonna be bullshitting the tale of day and night, I don't need to hear that. You can just, I know it's not the best, but we're not talking about that. Better praise how good is the key, because it's a great piece of writing. 44,000 words, 13 full chapters, well, if you count prologue, epilogue, 15, that's insane amount for me as like just a regular person to write. That's almost a book, like proper big book, like you have on paper. Maybe I'll have mine on paper someday too. But happy new year, happy holidays. May your new year bring whatever you're wishing for, health and joy to everyone, and we'll see you guys around. I hope my crap internet will upload this video today, but if not, I will post it on 31st, but still before 2026 starts. And thank you for being with me throughout the whole 2025, and let us have more funsy stuff in 2026. Thank you for staying. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next year. Bye bye.